Om Shri Sai Ram, invoking the blessings of the Almighty, respected elders, distinguished guests, and participants from around the world, Sai Ram and good evening. Welcome to day 49 of the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival here at Sathya Sai Grama. Today, we are honored to welcome amidst us Shri B.Y. Vijagendra, Member of Karnataka Legislative Assembly and Karnataka State President of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We welcome you, sir. We also have Mr. N.S. Srinivasamurthy, Honorary Consul of Vietnam. We welcome you, sir. This morning, the Grand Kalyanotsava was performed at the Lord Uma Maheshwara Temple to Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. In his address, Sadhguru shared that during the ceremony both Shiva and Parvati were very much present, acknowledging with happiness the various rituals performed. He expressed his happiness and satisfaction for the successful completion of the temple and today's Kalyanam, which was performed for the sake of Loka Kalyana, welfare of the whole world. The temple will function as the very heart of this ashram, elevating the energy and consciousness of the entire place and for all those who reside here. Later, Sadhguru performed Bhumi Puja for another residential block, after which he reviewed the progress of P block, which will be inaugurated soon. One of the hallmarks of our education system is the model of sustainability. On completion of their education at the university, boys and girls assume various roles of teachers, wardens, and administrators in our various educational campuses. Today, we are happy to share that over 120 postgraduate pass-outs, both boys and girls, are currently serving in various capacities in our institutions. This evening, as part of the Know Your Mission, we have Mr. Gaurav M., Pradhana Palaka of Sri Sathya Sai Sharadhaniketanam, presenting on various aspects of the Mandya campus. He completed his post-graduation in Sanskrit from the Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence and is currently pursuing his PhD program alongside his responsibility as the Pradhana Palaka. Brother Gaurav M.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering a collective pranams at the lotus feet of our master Sadhguru Shri Madhusudan Sai, the only one who thinks about our highest welfare. Before we begin, let's take a brief journey into the heart of Sri Sathya Sai Sharadhaniketanam Gurukulam through a short video showcasing the campus and its spirit. Maybe have the video, please.
In a time when education is often seen as a commodity, there remains a sanctuary where knowledge is imparted as service to society and wisdom is shared with hearts full of compassion. Amid the peaceful fields of Mandya, known as Sakkare Nadu, the land of sweetness, stands a haven like no other. Here, learning is cherished, love embraces every child, and transformation unfolds each day. Sri Sathya Sai Sharadhaniketanam Gurukulam was born from a vision of selfless service, only months after the establishment of Sri Sathya Sai Vidyaniketanam in Gulbarga. On 11th February 2012, guided by faith, Chief Mentor Sri B.N. Narasimhamurthy set out to find the land destined for this new chapter in Sai's mission. When a devoted resident offered 10 guntas of land with humility and trust, the seed was planted for something extraordinary. At the auspicious dawn of Mahashivratri on 20th February 2012, Bhumi Puja was performed for the birth of the campus. In Sai's mission, every moment is meaningful. The dream to educate children in rural Mandya drew support from far and wide. Devotees from the United Kingdom, part of the Sai Anugraham Charitable Trust, along with the devotees from Singapore, came forward to lend their support in building this campus. Alumni joined hands and came forward to educate children in their own might. On 1st of June 2013, the first batch of students walked into the campus, their hearts filled with hope and gratitude. From humble beginnings, the institution blossomed into an edifice for transformation, a place where character is nurtured and futures are crafted with care. The land is steeped in history. 2 centuries ago, the ascetic Channa Basappa performed penance in Muddenahalli, wishing to rebuild a small Shiva temple known as Gavi Siddheshwara. Time did not allow him to fulfill this dream, but today his spirit is honored with a statue and the temple has been lovingly restored. Alongside it, a meditation hall arose in 2015, fulfilling the vision of a devotee of Bhagwan Baba. The everyday rituals and puja is performed by the students of the Gurukulam. Majestic in its presence, the Shiva temple features an elliptical lingam soaring high, a symbol of the cosmos, guarded by a grand Nandi in front of it. This sublime monument stands as a testimony to devotion, vision, and divine timing. Every village is watched over by its guardian deity. Here, Goddess Maramma Devi's temple was carefully restored as it was dilapidated, nurturing harmony and growth throughout the community. Sai Hridayam, inaugurated in 2017, shaped in the Sarvadharma emblem, serves as an academic edifice and prayer hall. Sai Anugraham offers a home for dedicated staff. The Sai Chaya Hostel, inaugurated in 2021, is a majestic hostel for boys. In 2023, Sai Swasthya Wellness Center began extending compassionate, preventive healthcare to thousands in nearby villages. Till today, more than 1,000 boys have received entirely free, values-based education. Teachers serve as mentors, and parents join in seva activities, both at the Gurukulam and at the hospital in Muddenahalli. Students flourish in academics, sports, fine arts, life skills, and spiritual wisdom. Sri Sathya Sai Sharada Niketanam is not merely a school. It is a sanctuary of character where education is a sacred mission, nurturing children by offering both secular and spiritual education, forever changing lives.
On this auspicious evening, I am honored to represent Sri Sathya Sai Sharda Niketanam Mandya Gurukulam. It's more than a school, it's a sacred space, shaping hearts and minds for a better world. Coming to the first slide. The first slide, it's a 5-lettered word, F, A, I, T, and H, which says, forget anything impossible and just trust Him. This is the journey of faith. At this point in time, we must remember 2 sets of people in the kingdom of God. The first set of people are our devotees from the United Kingdom, the Sai Anugraham Charitable Trust, the brothers and sisters, and our extended family at London, who stood with the firm faith with Swami and trusted Him, and the following slides are the testament for their faith. The second set of people are our elders of the institution who have completely dedicated their lives to this mission. Some of them whom we must remember at this point in time: Sri Jairam Reddy Anna, affectionately called as Swami's Hanuman, who was there since the inception of many campuses. Sri Anantamurthy Sir and Chaya Amma, who took care of Swami's children and the institution as their own. Sri Rajshekar Anna, who had dedicated his entire life to this mission in various capacities. Adding to them, we also have many teachers, elders, brothers and sisters who were part of this wonderful journey of faith. What's special with this garden of flowers? Of course, the red dahlia flower. This red dahlia flower reflects the students, staff, devotees, the patients who come to the hospital, and all our centers across the world. The One World, One Family Global Humanitarian Mission, which has all the projects, people, resources, and buildings. You may ask why this red dahlia flower is special. That is because of this. Let's all remember ourselves that we are the special dahlia flowers which is carefully nurtured with pure, selfless love in the magical hands of our beloved Sadguru. Now, let's go a little deep into the evolution of this heaven created by our Sadguru. From simple beginnings rooted in nature to a vibrant hub of learning and growth, a barren ground of possibilities transformed into a beacon of knowledge, where once whispers of prayers filled the air, there now shines the sacred Shiva Kshetra, where a sacred dream was sown. Now stands a beacon of timeless excellence. Brick by brick, the promise of a home was built for all his students at the campus, which stands as a sanctuary of living with love and harmony. Let's quickly go through the legacy of the campus. In 2012, the Mandya campus Bhumi Puja was performed. 2013, the community center was inaugurated. 2014, Sai Anugraham staff quarters was inaugurated. 2015, the goddess Maramma temple was inaugurated. 2015, the Shiva temple was inaugurated. 2017, the Sai Hridayam, the current academic block, was inaugurated. The Sai Chaya Hostel block was inaugurated in the year 2021, and 2023, Sai Swasthya Wellness Center was inaugurated. Coming to some of the campus departments, academics. Swami has blessed us with a wonderful facility such as well-furnished library, which has thousands of books of various fields, a STEM lab for hands-on learning experience for science experiments. All the 3 sections have their dedicated digital boards for their e-learning. We have 2 exclusive computer lab facilities with a very good setup which helps students to explore the digital drive in them. Coming to the maintenance team, a dedicated and committed staff coming from the local village believes institution as their own home and takes care of all the maintenance day in and day out and feels that Swami's children as their children. Coming to the kitchen department, a team of 2 cooks and 3 women use steamed pipeline vessels to prepare pure, delicious, high-quality food 7 times a day, and on special occasions, the chefs prepare wonderful, delicious food for all of us. We also ensure Patra Shuddhi, Paka Shuddhi, and Padartha Shuddhi at the kitchen. Coming to the transportation, we are blessed with all kinds of vehicles in the campus as per the need, such as food, transport, emergency hospital transport for children, and a car for official purpose. Coming to the laundry department, our Gurukulam's laundry facility ensures same-day washing and crisp steam ironing, which matches the standards of Taj Hotel, as we have the same equipment in the campus. Coming to the Goshala, one of the most important place, it's a sign of auspiciousness. We have few cows. With Swami's blessings, a well-wisher has come forward to support a new Goshala project which capacitates 20 cows in it. Security. The security team ensures the safety of everyone with dedication and care. Their vigilance keeps us secure and welcomes everybody all the time. This is one of the best picture of the hostel at the evening time. It's unimaginable to see a world-class hostel facility in a remote village like Mandya. Always Swami wants to give the best to his children, and once during one of his visits, he mentioned that this is a dream hostel for any student. This hostel has got well-furnished cupboards facilities with an in-house basketball, volleyball, and a badminton court. All the hostel departments are handled by the students themselves with the help of interns and palakas. Some of the departments here in the hostel are sports departments. A set of boys who are joining the BPES course at university come together with the physical education teacher, conduct weekly matches and monthly matches, including the night matches to encourage the spirit of sportsmanship. Audio-visual team, a dedicated team which manages all the audio and video arrangements at the campus for all the occasions. Decoration team, be it Swami's visit, any festival, or any other special occasion, this team comes up with lots of unique ideas to match the occasion. Guest and event management. All the events and the guest hospitality end to end will be planned and executed with the help of interns and palakas by trained students. As guided by Sadhguru, anybody who enters the place should be taken care like God himself. Altar team, the complete setup of the prayer hall and the spiritual ambience is completely maintained by this particular team. Common facilities management. Swami's boundless love provides more than 50 plus daily use items which are common for all the students. We have a separate team to manage the distribution and the maintenance of these items. These are some of the clips of the cupboard facilities in the campus, which helps the students to learn the soft skills from their younger age. Our team is blessed with a unique group of individuals, each bringing different skills and talents to the table. Together, we plan and execute all activities at the Gurukulam. Each of us lead a department of our choice. We engage in open discussions, consider all viewpoints, and reach mutual agreements, enabling us to make timely decisions efficiently only with the perspective as the yardstick, Swami as the yardstick. Coming to the most important segment of our Gurukulams, 3 pillars of Gurukulam as guided by Sadhguru: the students, teachers, and parents. Coming to the first leg of the tripod, the students, spending time with these children is a heart-touching learning process for all of us. Each boy is blessed with a unique hidden talent in him. Students are handled through their stories of trauma and are encouraged to face their problems with right mindset. We also focus on the mental and the emotional quotient of the child. Therefore, there are many stories of many students. Together we learn, together we grow. Coming to the second leg of the tripod, our dedicated teachers provide personalized care and academic support to every child. Spiritually inclined, they actively engage in weekly Tattva Samiksha sessions, discussing spiritual concepts and sharing personal transformational stories. This was one such occasion where Swami spoke to each of the staff member when he had come to the campus. The strength behind every student's success. Coming to the third leg of the tripod, parents. They are the integral part of our Gurukulam. Through initiatives like house visits with bhajan and bhojan, Matri Bhojana sessions where mothers cook and share meals with all the children. This brings a strong bond with families, fostering a sense of unity and a shared purpose. We now have a small clipping on the impact of parent seva. These are some of the clippings of the Matru Bhojana and the house visits.
ಶ್ರೀ ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಪಾದಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಶ್ರೀ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಶ್ರೀ ಮಧುಸೂದನ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಪಾದಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಹನುಮನಗೌಡ ಮಾಲಿ ಪಾಟೀಲ್, ರಾಯಚೂರು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ ಸಿಂಧನೂರು ತಾಲೂಕಿನ ಗೊರೆಬಾಳ ಗ್ರಾಮದವರು. ಕುಟುಂಬ ಸಮೇತ ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸೇವೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಭಾಳ ಆನಂದವಾಗಿ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಖುಷಿಲಿಂದ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಸೇವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸೇವೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತಂತ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಅನುಭವ ಆಯಿತು. ಈ ಥರ ಸೇವೆ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಈ ಥರ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿಲಿಂದ ನಾವು ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ಟು ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ವರ್ಗದವರಾಗಲಿ, ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡುವವರಾಗಲಿ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ತುಂಬ ಸಪೋರ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ತುಂಬ ಮನಸ್ಸ ಇಚ್ಚಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಒಂಥರ ಸೇವೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮನಸ್ಸೋ ಇಚ್ಛೆಯಿಂದ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಶ್ರೀ ಮಧುಸೂದನ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಪಾದಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಹಾಗೂ ಇದೇ ಥರ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕೊಡಲೆಂದು ಶ್ರೀ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಶ್ರೀ ಮಧುಸೂದನ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಹತ್ರ ಕಳಕಳ ವಿನಂತಿ.
Coming to some of the campus special initiatives, Parampara Walk. To know the child's mindset better, we take them for a walk to understand their feelings and understand their background. We have a YouTube channel which highlights the events of the campus. The Sadhana Talks helps all the staff and students to reflect on their spiritual sadhana. We also have a Sai Symphony band, brass band in the campus. Gratitude in Action is a Wednesday initiative where all of us come together to discuss and deliberate on the various aspects of Gurukulam to practice gratitude. These are some of the pictures of the cultural programs, the affirmation mirror, and some of the Paravidya exhibitions. The voice of experience. One of the students once asked, "We want to know all the stories which you have with Swami, and we want to listen to more and more stories." For this reason, we all thought and came together on one stage, sharing our different connections as how Swami carefully helped us to walk in this path. This is a magazine which covers all the activities of the campus. The Temple Puja and Annual Fair. This is one of the most important event which happens in the campus, where all the surrounding villages, more than 3,000 to 3,500 villagers, come to this particular Shiva temple for their prayers and their offerings. Some of the initiatives of the pre-university students. Sanchari Mitra. This is a chatbot which is backed by the complete information of the campus. Speak It Right, which helps us to know the right speaking of English. Navaratnas, who have committed themselves to join the Vedic Studies course at the university. Vichara Veda, academic presentations with practical field reports. These are some of the pictures of the events there. And coming to the most important segment, Swami's visit. His visit, of course, it's a big festival to each one of us in the campus. It comes with lots of packages like Students Connect, Special Temple, Sunset Satsangs, time with all the departments, interviews for all the batches, and also teachers and a special guidance for the core team. This is the only organization where the head of the institution, that is our Sadguru, makes time for each and every stakeholder of the organization, which is not usual in any organization. He comes to the campus, he speaks to all the departments and asks all the things for all the people with lot of concern and compassion. Coming to the outreach program, this is a special program as a connect to the rural students by Digital Drive. The Dell Digital Literacy Program, which acts as a support to all the government school children through this initiative. Last year, we have reached 1,500 students, covered 6 schools, guided by 4 dedicated teachers. This boosted confidence and digital skills in the rural students. This year, having the target of 2,500 students, we want to expand a wide network with 11 schools. We have already covered 8 schools. We have got a very good response from all the school headmasters as well as the students. These are some of the snaps after the certificate distribution program of the Dell Digital Literacy Program. And one of the snap is of the bus, which has 20 to 25 computers in it. We now have a small clipping on the impact of this digital literacy program.
ನಾನು 9th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ನೇಮು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಬಸ್ರಾಳು. ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ 15 ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಶ್ರೀ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತಿ ಬಾಲಮಂದಿರ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಗಾನವಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ನೇತ್ರ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರು ಮೊದಲು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಇದ್ದರು, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಹೇಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಏನೇನು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಕಲಿಬೋದು, ಎಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಸ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಮೇಲೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕರ್ಕೋಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರು. MS ವರ್ಡು, ಎಕ್ಸೆಲ್ಲು, PPT, AI ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಡಿಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಏನೇನು ಕಲಿಬೋದು, ಮುಂದೆ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಈ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್.
Coming to the Sai Swasthya Wellness Center, over 3,000 people have been screened for diabetics, BP, and other issues from the surrounding villages. For some of them, we have suggested to visit Muddenahalli Hospital for their further treatments. This is the setup which is there at the campus. The pathway to human excellence. All the Gurukulams here comes to the cluster campuses from the OB to the cluster and reach out to the university. Mandya campus acts as a bridge to the Gurukulams to reach the university. Every student receives personalized guidance to follow their passion, supported by strong parental involvement. Hundreds of students are currently pursuing their passion in various fields at our university, with more than 20 to 25 Mandya alumni serving in various departments in our organization. We also have different combinations in the university for them to pursue. This is a special batch which was blessed by Swami. Quality 32. Swami has spent more than an hour with this set of students, inspiring them to take this wonderful path where their purpose meets their passion. He spoke to each and every boy by asking their names, and inspired by this session, they committed themselves to join university, and all the boys from this particular batch have joined university last year. Mission 55, the current 12th batch has named themselves as Mission 55 to commit themselves to this mission. Coming to the conclusion, I would like to end with a wonderful small message. Standing Boy of Nagasaki. This famous photograph, taken in August 1945, after the atomic bombing of Nagasaki, captures a young boy solemnly carrying his deceased brother on his back. As he waits his turn at crematorium, his profound response to a concerned soldier, "He is my brother," transformed the image into a lasting symbol of deep sibling love, unity, and strength in the face of immense tragedy. To ensure the power of this moment is not lost, with my words, I'm going to read out the message that Japan conveyed with this photograph to the whole world. "He is not heavy, he is my brother, she is my sister. If he falls, raise him. Even if you get tired, help him. And if his support is weak, and if he makes a mistake, forgive him. And if the world abandons him, carry him on your back, because he is not heavy, he is your brother." Let's not give up anyone for any reason, as we belong to one world, one family. Let's all serve together in this wonderful, glorious humanitarian mission with Sadhguru. With gratitude, let's care more, share more, love more, and serve more. Jai Saram.
After the grand and glorious Dasara celebrations, we resume the celebration of various countries as part of the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival. This evening, we are delighted to honor the country of Vietnam. Officially known as the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, it is a nation located on the eastern edge of mainland Southeast Asia. With recorded history dating back nearly 5,000 years, Vietnam has journeyed through ancient kingdoms ruled by powerful dynasties, colonization, and finally independence to become a proud and resilient nation that is not only traditionally rich but also culturally vibrant. The country is also known for its beautiful beaches and rivers, breathtaking natural wonders like Ha Long Bay and rice terraces of Sapa, and world-famous cuisine like the Vietnamese pho and banh mi. Vietnam stands as a land where nature, history, and culture harmoniously blend. This evening, we are deeply honored to present the One World, One Family Global Humanitarian Award in the field of education and human development to Mr. Nguyen Van Dung, CEO of the Havina Group in Vietnam. With over a decade of experience in English training, study abroad consulting, vocational education, and traditional international collaborations, has been a driving force in transforming education in his country. Founded in 2011, Havina has become a pioneer in personalized learning, operating multiple education brands and training centers across Vietnam, Singapore, and Australia, in partnership with global organizations such as Pearson, National Geographic Learning, and IDP. Under his guidance, Havina fosters a community where students, teachers, and parents are encouraged to pursue academics, creativity, and service, nurturing the full potential of every learner. Guided by the mission, Education for Happiness and Prosperity, Nguyen Van Dung has made lasting contributions to the education ecosystem in Vietnam, inspiring generations to come. Though he is unable to join us in person today, we are delighted to present a video of his acceptance address. May we have the video, please?
Good morning from Vietnam. Respected Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, distinguished guests, fellow humanitarians, dear brothers, sisters, I'm deeply humbled to receive the Global Humanitarians Awards on behalf of my beloved country, Vietnam. This honor is not mine alone. It belongs to teachers who dedicate their lives to guiding students, to the volunteers who give their time with love, and to the countless young people of Vietnam whose dreams inspire us to keep serving. In Vietnam, we have witnessed the transformative power of education and training. It's not only about the lessons and the textbooks, It is about dignity, hope, and the opportunities. When a child, whether it's in a city or a remote village, is given a chance to learn, a door is to a brighter future is opened. Today, we gather from over 100 nations. I see the living spirit of Vasu Cyber Kutumbakam. The world is one family. Though we come from different cultures, we are united by the same heartbeats of compassion and service. These words reminds us that no act of service is too small. A single meal that nourishes, a single classroom that inspires, a single act of kindness that uplifts together, these creates waves of changes and that can transform the world. I draw deep inspiration from the life of, and message of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, whose centenaries we celebrate through this festival. His call to serve with love is universal, timeless, and urgently needed in our world today. On behalf of Vietnam, I accept these words as both a prayer for unity and a call to action. Let us continue working hand in hand to build a future where no child is denied education, where no family goes hungry, and where love knows no borders. Xin cảm ơn from Vietnam. Thank you. Namaste.
We invite Ms. Asuka Phom to please receive the award on behalf of Mr. Gwyn Wansung. We now invite Ms. Asuka Phom from Vietnam to share her thoughts about Vietnam. Born in Hanoi, the capital city of Vietnam, she currently serves as an executive assistant in a multinational garment company. Alongside her professional role, she also contributes as an assistant to La Chine de Rotisseur's Vietnam National Village, a global community of nearly 25,000 members united by the spirit of brotherhood, friendship, and camaraderie with a shared passion for the culinary arts. With her diverse experiences in both the corporate and cultural spheres, Ms. Asoka brings with her a unique perspective of growth, service, and transformation. Ms. Asoka, please.
Xin chào from Vietnam. With a heartfelt gratitude, we honor Sadhguru Sai for bringing us together as the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival. Today, I am proud to share Vietnam, a country of resilience, rich traditions, and warm hospitality. Vietnam stretches gracefully for over 2,000 miles in the shape of an elegant S. To the north, we border China, to the west, Laos and Cambodia, and to the east, a magnificent coastline open to the sea. Home of more than 100 million people, our capital Hanoi blends 1,000 years of history with modern vitality. Vietnam's landscape is as diverse as its culture, mountain, rice field, and long sandy beaches shaped by the tropical climate. Our official language is Vietnamese, a lyrical tonal language enriched by the many ethnic minority languages. Our currency is Vietnamese đồng. One Vietnamese đồng is 0.003 Indian rupee. We begin with the north, At Hạ Long Bay, the UNESCO site where thousands of limestone pillars rise from the emerald waters. The mystical landscape known as the Bay of Descendants, Dragons. Moving south, Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park holds the world's largest cave with a vast limestone formation and underground rivers that inspire wonders. In Hue, one of the imperial capital, the majestic citadel and Meridian Gate take us back to the royal court of the final royal dynasty of Vietnam. Nearby is Hội An. The Latin Lee Street preserves the culture of Vietnamese, Chinese, and Japanese heritage, a living postcard of history. Further south, Ho Chi Minh City thrives with energy, a metropolis of skyscrapers and colonial landmarks, symbolizing Vietnam's dynamic spirit. Finally, the Mekong Delta, Vietnam rice basket, alive with the floating market, fertilizer field, and river culture at the heart of our agriculture. Vietnam culture rests on the triple religion, Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism. Above all, ancestor worship, reinforcing family, community, and loyalty. Our cuisine is world famous of freshness and balance. Huế noodle, spicy, rich from the central religion. Phở noodle is a delicate, aromatic, our national dish. Bánh mì, a humble yet iconic street food, and Vietnam coffee, bold, unforgettable, and shared worldwide. There are variety of vegetarian meal options too. Among 54 ethnic groups with diverse attire, the graceful áo dài stands as a symbol of Vietnamese beauty and elegance. Our arts include water puppetry, chèo, cải lương theater, traditional instruments like đàn bầu and đàn tranh carry out our soul in music. Tết, our Lunar New Year, unite families in joy and renewal. The Hùng King anniversary honors the legendary founder of our nation, a proud symbol of unity and heritage. Ho Chi Minh City was the founding father of modern Vietnam, as known as Uncle Ho, a revolutionary leader who dedicated his life to the country's independence and freedom. In 1987, UNESCO honored him as a world cultural figure for his profound influence in national liberation movement and cultural value worldwide. We honor Thích Nhất Hạnh as a Vietnamese Zen master, poet, peace activist, and one of the world's most influenced spiritual leaders, known as the father of mindfulness. Nguyễn Ánh Viên was a Vietnam-style swimmer, known as winning multiple gold medals for the Southeast Asia and international competition. Vietnam is advancing in healthcare, education, social service, while still striving to close gaps in remote areas. Government and charitable effort bring opportunity to care all the communities. The spirit of mutual support lives on the volunteer and youth group deliver education, clean water, hope across the country. Vietnam's story is one of the resilience, unity, and hospitality. Peace remains on our most cherished value, carried from generation to generation. With compassion and friendship, we share the message, respect, and spirit of sharing, connecting us in our common journey for world peace. Thank you.
We now invite our esteemed guest, Honorary Consul of Vietnam to India, Mr. N.S. Srinivasamurthy, to address us. Beside his diplomatic role, he has been associated with the All India Agarbatti Manufacturers Association, serves as the treasurer of Karnataka Arya Vaishya Mahasabha, and is the president of the Mysore Silk Cloths Merchants Cooperative Bank. Mr. Murthy, please.
Revered Swamiji, Sri Madhusudan Sai, Sri Vijayendra, Karnataka State BJP Chief, all the enlightened souls that have gathered here, the students, ladies and gentlemen. Madam told several things about Vietnam. So since I represent Vietnam, let me take other facets which are not told by her. See, Vietnam rose from its ashes when Americans had to leave without succeeding anything. So that was in the year 1970s. So within these 50 years, the strides and progress that the Vietnam has made is much beyond anybody's imagination. In fact, you see, Vietnam, which was primarily an agrarian country, now it is an industrial country. Industries means, see, we cannot compare ourselves to Vietnam. Take any parameters, for instance, Vietnam is much ahead of India. Even though it has 10 crores population and we have 1.4 billion, we are no way comparable to Vietnam is what I would like to impress upon all of us. And this I am telling to say that, see, we should strive hard to see that we progress in all parameters like anything. See, Vietnam is the forerunner in the manufacture of semiconductor industries. In fact, just one incident comes to my mind. About 8 or 9 months ago, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi was happy to say that India has exported $1 billion worth of iPhones to all over the world. In the same month, I read in a Vietnam magazine that Vietnam exported $10 billion worth of iPhones to all over the world. So where is the comparison of 1 billion and 10 billion? So that is what is Vietnam progress has made. So Vietnam not only in semiconductors, it takes garments, you take coffee, pepper, tea, rice. It exports rice to America. So all this put together, why it happened to do is, they are very, very hard-working people. In fact, in the early days, a delegation from Vietnam came to Chikmagalur to see how the coffee is grown. Now, Vietnam grows much more coffee than India does. How is it happening? See, that is what is Vietnam, is what I should say. Dear friends, apart from Vietnam's this thing, see, the tourism has become a latest attraction for Vietnam. Now, direct flights from Bangalore to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh are there 7 times a week. So people are going to Vietnam in droves. And all the people who return, they say that Vietnam is a beautiful country. Everyone must visit it. In fact, so many people here may have gone to Vietnam also. I am sure that they also will be carrying good lot of memories from Vietnam. Saying this much about Vietnam, I thought I must talk something about our own Muddenahalli. I was here probably 30 years ago in Muddenahalli because my friend's son was studying in a school, and I came here. At that time, Sri Sai Baba was very much here. He addressed all of us, and it was only one school that I saw. Whereas after 30 years, now I come here and see the growth because of all of you, because of Sri Madhusudan Sai ji, that has happened. I am really happy that this sort of a growth has taken place, and I am sure that all the people, all the students who are studying here will become the most bright and active and good citizens of India to take India forward. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
We now call upon our chief guest, Shri B.Y. Vijayendra, to address us. He represents the Shikaripura constituency, Shivamogga district, since 2023. He is the son of the former Chief Minister, Shri B.S. Yediyurappa. Presently, Shri Vijayendra serves as the State President of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
World Cultural Festival 2025. Sadhguru Shri Madhusudan Sai Ji, Consulate of Vietnam, Mr. N.S. Srinivas Murthy Ji, dear brother and sisters, and my dear friends. World Cultural Festival, One World, One Family Mission. Respected Sadhguru Shri Madhusudan Sai Ji, it's with immense joy and gratitude I stand before you today at this sacred place of Sathya Sai Grama to participate in this grand World Cultural Festival organized by One Family, One World, One Family Mission. At the outset, I offer my humble respect to Sadhguruji, whose vision, leadership, and tireless service are inspiring countless individuals to live a life of love, compassion, and selflessness. This mission, born out of timeless spiritual values, has touched lives not only in Karnataka and India, but across continents, reminding humanity that despite of differences of race, religion, language, and nationality, we are indeed one family under one God. What is more important today, or what interests me more, is the timing of this cultural festival, the timing of this World Cultural Festival. When countries are fighting each other for selfishness, for supremacy, and to fulfill their egos, here is a Sadhguru who is working tirelessly for the creation of one world and one family. I really thank Madhusudan Sai on behalf of everybody who are sitting here today. India has always been a land of diverse culture, tradition, and philosophies that have flourished together. The message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, it's not just a slogan, but the very foundation of our civilizational ethos. Dear friends, this festival today beautifully reflects that spirit. Through music, dance, art, and spiritual dialogue, we are celebrating the rich diversity of our cultures while recognizing the deeper truth that binds us all, the eternal values of love, peace, and harmony. Friends, while science and technology can provide comfort and convenience, it is the spirituality and the culture that gives us meaning and direction to life. Institutions like Sathya Sai Grama are showing us on how education can be value-based, how healthcare can be selfless, and how nutrition can be universal and how service can be unconditional. The 600-bedded Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Science and Research and the completely free hospital here are the living testaments to the powers of the compassion in action. Similarly, the Annapurna, the morning nutrition program, which is reaching out to the lakhs and lakhs of school children, not only in Karnataka and also across the country, is a shining example how spirituality and service can go hand in hand. I, as a representative of the people and also as a humble worker of this great nation, I really feel proud that Karnataka is home to such divine mission that is transforming society quietly, consistently and relentlessly. Today, when the world is often divided by conflicts, competition, and narrow self-interest, India has a unique responsibility to share with humanity the timeless wisdom of the universal brotherhood. Festivals like this, World Cultural Festival, are not mere gatherings. They are the moments of consciousness that inspire people to look beyond differences and embrace one another as brothers and sisters and work for the collective good of the society. I'm sure the message of the one world, one family is in fact the message of Sanathana Dharma, that is eternal values that are very relevant today and that were 1,000 years ago. On behalf of the people of Karnataka, I convey my heartfelt appreciation to the organizers of this festival and to the tireless volunteers for such a noble vision of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai has been presented today. And also I take this opportunity. Today I am really glad I am the president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I am glad because my country Bharat, my country India is headed by none other than Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. What fills me proud about Shri Narendra Modi ji, he always claims, he always says he is not the Prime Minister of this country, but he is a man who is serving this country 24/7. I'm really glad to share in last 11 years under the dynamic leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji, India, that is my Bharat, is emerging stronger and stronger. The country which was 11th largest economy, and today I'm proud to say, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, India is the 4th largest economy. It's the 4th largest economy. And what inspires me is, today, the Prime Minister of this country, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has received highest civilian awards by more than 20 countries. This is a clear recognition for a Prime Minister of this country, Shri Narendra Modi ji, on the global platform. The vision and the motto of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Vikasit Bharat by 2047, that is, a developed nation by 2047. Respected brothers and sisters and my dear students, I feel it's a responsibility of every citizen of this country. If at all, if we have to fulfill the vision of a Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, a Vikasit Bharat by 2047, I think one of each and every Indian should shoulder this responsibility. With this, before I end my few words, with due respect to Honorable Consulate to Vietnam, Shri Srinivas Murthy ji. Srinivas Murthy ji was comparing India with Vietnam. I'm sure I also agree with Vietnam, which is moving forward on the economic front. But India, as I told, India is not only the fourth largest economy. What is more important is India and Narendra Modi ji, who strongly believes in one world and one family, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Narendra Modi ji also, who strongly believes in one world and one family. Today, I'm proud to say that India, under the dynamic leadership of Narendra Modi ji, is the strongest pillar to make this world as one family. I really thank for our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, not only for taking this country forward and also guiding the world in this right direction. And before I end my speech, before I end my few words, I should thank Shri Madhusudan Sai for giving me this great opportunity. When I entered this campus, I met a couple of volunteers. When I was speaking to them, I really felt as if I'm speaking to Madhusudan Sai ji, because the way they spoke, their humility, their humbleness, I would say this is the eighth wonder of the world. I'm not exaggerating things. It's the eighth wonder of the world. If this beautiful campus has achieved what it has achieved today, it's really because of the blessings of Sadguru Shri Madhusudan Sai. For that, I really thank with my folded hands Sadguruji. Pranam.
Thank you, sir, for your presence and participation in today's event. We extend a token of our gratitude to our guest, Mr. N.S. Srinivasamurthy. And to Shri B.Y. Vijayendra ji. We now humbly pray to Sadguru to bless us with his benedictory message.
The great Indian ethos of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is guiding the spirit of this One World, One Family cultural festival, is not new to the ears of those who are the followers of Sanathana Dharma. It was during the G20 presidency that India had the honor to do that. The Honorable Prime Minister chose this as the very theme, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future, is how he presented this great Indian idea. And we are only happy to further the cause of uniting the world in this idea of being a family. Because once you know you are a family, you know what to do with each other, you know how to look after each other. You know that you have to care for the weakest, for the old, for the sick, for the vulnerable. They are the most important people in a family. And I think that idea is something that can guide the thought of all nations, starting from India, because for centuries India has stood tall for this great ideal of uniting the world in love and service. I am very glad to have two esteemed guests on this important occasion when we are celebrating the country of Vietnam, the Honorable Consul Srinivasamurthy ji, for sharing his thoughts and his time with us, and of course our very own Shri Vijayendra ji, who is not new to this place or to us. He's been a friend and a confidant, a support to this organization. So I welcome both of them to this World Festival. Vietnam did go through a tumultuous past. 20 years of war that tore it apart. The north and the south of the Vietnam, they fought with each other. And so also the countries around Cambodia, Laos, they all got involved in that war. And two big forces on earth then were backing the war. And there was so much of collateral damage that happened. And after so many years of struggle and strife, a country like Vietnam did rise from the ashes, as Mr. Murthy said, that and they picked up whatever was left, but they did not want to look back and dwell over their past. Instead, they were looking forward to a future, and they worked very, very hard. As a small country with 10 crore people, it's nothing compared to many other countries in the world. But they worked very hard. They became the manufacturing hub of the world, especially in semiconductors. We know without semiconductors, nothing works. From your car to the cell phones to even the satellites, all electronics and chips, they all are made of semiconductor devices, and they are pioneers in that. And we definitely can take a leaf out of their success story of how one can rise from the ashes and reach the sky. I think something about that, about Vietnam. Of course, it's a beautiful country, very natural, the Mekong River, its delta, the sea coast, and so many other wonderful things, their culture, art, traditions, their clothing, the embroidery, and their handicrafts. Every one of them is unique, which is truly something that we should appreciate. But what I really appreciate is that after a very difficult past, they rose to the occasion, they worked hard, they fought back, and they came up in life. And all the Vietnamese, I congratulate the Vietnamese for that kind of resilience and strength that they have shown. I think that is something that all can learn from. Well, if we talk about resilience, I cannot compare apple and oranges, but then India has been the victim of so many invasions for so many centuries, because it's a very rich land, you see. So plunderers invaded this country, they looted the temples and took away camel loads, not 1, 10, thousands of camel loads of wealth from our temples. They dismantled the very socio-economic system of the country, which was so very resilient, which was so self-dependent. It needed nobody's help, because we knew everything from art and culture to metallurgy and minerals to clothing, apparels, to construction and medicine, astronomy, name it. There was nothing that India did not contribute to. All fields of knowledge is something that those flourished in India. India was the hub of knowledge. The universities of India taught students from east and west, and they came traveling thousands of miles just to learn from our teachers. We know of those things. It is just that over the last 2000 years, several ups and downs, and many of these wonderful things, they not vanished, but they were suppressed. But India is rising again. Like the tree whose roots are intact can grow back any time. So India is rising and rising big. It is spreading its branches in all directions. And I think it's time that we understand and recognize this great country's contribution to the whole world, not just spirituality. Spirituality, of course, nothing like Indian spirituality, but then more importantly, it also is now contributing to the global economic development. And it is not just growing lopsided, it is growing equitably. The growth is reaching the common masses. I think for that, I have to truly appreciate the Honorable Prime Minister, whom we had the honor of receiving in this very hall on this very stage 2 years ago for the inauguration of the medical school. So it does take a leader of that nature to take a huge country like ours, which is so diverse and complex, which with such a checkered past, to take it forward is not an easy task, but under his leadership that is happening, and that is something that we are very proud of. While we celebrate the entire World Festival, every country brings something unique to the table. I learned so much from every of these countries, and also from the humanitarians in those countries who are doing so much of good for their people. Today we celebrated one like that for the last 45, 47 days we have been celebrating somebody or the other for the great work that they are doing, inspired by the same ideals of love and service. So that inspires us. When we look at people, we have seen people from as difficult countries as Uganda or Syria, or from Lebanon and Yemen, and name it, Gaza and Palestine, and so many of those difficult countries, and Africa like Uganda and so many other African countries, Burundi and things like that, who came here and they told us their stories of how difficult the lives are. You never know whether you will live to see another sunrise. Yet they had such spirit in them to do what they can do for the betterment of their people, and in turn the betterment of the world. We have met so many wonderful people in the last few weeks, which is truly inspirational. And I think that is something we must always look out for. That we always were a learning country, we always learned from each other. Whichever country came to India, we assimilated them in our culture. We learned from them, improved from there, and in a way we became better every time we learned from somebody. So we always have been a learning culture, learning country, and this is a great occasion for all the students here and everybody who is watching to learn from all these countries and to become better in our own way. That is very, very important. We just don't celebrate a festival, see things, hear things, and then forget about it. No, we must take some lessons home. And those lessons will help us to become better human beings and make the world a better place than what it is today. That is very important. That is what I expect from the younger generation. When I was listening to the presentation by the Mandya campus, it started in 2012 in a very small way, and it is a very mystical campus. I don't know whether I can share the story, but some of you know the story, that there was a saint who lived there in that cave. The temple is called Gavi Siddheshwara, because Gavi means the cave and Siddheshwara is the Shiva. So there was a small Shivalinga, and this man who lived maybe 200 years ago or 150 years ago, Channabasappa, he lived in that cave and nobody knew this story. Now, I'm just telling you where the Indian knowledge systems are and how mystical and how advanced they were. So of course I went there and I had a vision that there is an old man in this cave who is not alive, but he is there in the spirit. And we believe, as Indians we know, that death is not the end. Life goes on beyond that. The spirit continues. And this man, when we were discussing how to build the campus, I felt that this man is talking in the mind, and he was not happy that we were building a campus in his place. And that night when I was in Mandya town and I was going for a walk, I felt some footsteps behind me, but there was nobody. But I could feel that there is some presence here, and I am not alone on the road. That was my night walk after dinner. Those days I could go for walks, nowadays I can't. But those are free days. This is 2012. And this man behind me, I felt his presence. I stopped for a moment, focused, and I did feel his presence, and I asked, what is that you want? Why are you following me? Since I have seen you since I visited the land this afternoon. And he said, why are you people coming there? I said, we are trying to build an educational campus. It will be a free education for all the children. Oh, that is all good. Do whatever you want, but don't touch my cave. That's what he told. Don't you disturb my cave. I said, we were trying to build a Shiva temple also, because that's a dilapidated temple. We will add it to our work. He said, do whatever, but don't touch my cave. And that is what I told the people, including Narasimhurti ji. I had this kind of an experience, very mystical thing, very difficult to explain. What do we do? He said, all said and done, you felt so, let us not touch that cave. We will manage it without troubling anybody over there, those entities who live there. A few months down the line, we had a very interesting ritual is there in India called Tambula Prashna, Ashtamangala Prashna. This is a very, very known ritual. And so we got the experts from Kasargod, which is bordering Karnataka, in Kerala, Karnataka. So that group of people, they are a traditional people who do this Ashtamangala or the Tambula Prashna. This is a ritual, it's a method, it's a very scientifically done method. And they have a scripture which guides them. So what exactly they do is, they come to a new place, and when we want to start a new construction, especially of a temple, we invoke certain spirit, an energy, a knowledge system, and use this scripture of Ashtamangala Prashna, and then we ask questions using a like a square checkered board, and which has some cowdies and things like that, and they put it, and they get certain formations or numbers. They correspond that to the veins of tambula, means the betel leaf. And then they study that, how it works, and then they remember a shloka from the scripture that they have memorized the entire thing It's not written down. It's passed on from one generation to the other. And from that scripture, when they cull out that particular shloka, which kind of aligns with the formation of the petal leaf that they have picked up randomly, something like tarot card, and then whatever has happened on the checkerboard, and then they will come to some conclusion. They'll ask a question, they get an answer like this, and I did not tell them that there is a mystical man living in this cave and things are happening. We are there for doing the Bhumi Puja. This Tambula Prashna person who was doing this Ashtamangala Prashna, he figured it out and he said, we have to be very careful in this site, because in this site there lives a spirit. And that spirit won't be happy if we do anything and disturb. I kept quiet, I did not say a word. Everybody knew in our circle that this is true, but listening to it from somebody, a third party, was very interesting. Then he told, and it corresponded, it matched the story of what I knew of this Channabasappa who wanted to build a Shiva temple. He went to Kerala to the rich Nambudiris to seek donations. When he was coming on the way, he was murdered by the soldiers of the Muslim ruler, and that is how he lost the money and he could never reach the cave and build the temple. And his spirit, still dissatisfied, was dwelling in that area. And that is how I knew that this man is there. And this Tambula Prashna told the whole story, just as it was found out earlier by me. And then we said, what should we do? He said, we cannot disturb the cave, but we have to build in such a way that the cave does not collapse. And so, lot of studies were done, and finally the temple came up, but without disturbing the cave. The cave is still there, you can go there, you can look in, and there is a cave. And then we also, the beauty is that vast visit of this campus, also I had the intuition that the mother goddess who lives in that place, every village has a goddess, you know, Grama Devata is there. And Mariamman is the common Grama Devata for most of the villages. And here also there lived Mariamman Devi, but nobody worshipped her. And first thought came is that we have to build a temple of Durga here, before even we start the Shiva temple, but somehow we forgot that thought. And this Tambula Prashna pulled it out, saying that there is also a goddess by the name Mariamman here, who is not happy. And that is why this Pradesha was always barren, because nothing grew there. And nobody used to come there. People used to think it is a place which is occupied by ghosts and spirits. That is how the local people told us, why are you even taking that land? It is a barren land, nobody goes there, nothing happens there, and there are spirits dwelling, and local village people were telling. Slowly we found out. That's how we came to this Mariamman conclusion. And then this Pandit who had come, the scholar, he told that there is a Mariamman temple somewhere in a dilapidated situation. First that has to be set right, and worships have to be offered even before we start the work here of the temple and the school. And then we dug and found out from the local villages that there did exist a statue of goddess Mariamman, which was totally broken, and it was an anthill had formed around it. And some local village people had, that is the Mariamman statue, just 4 stones they had covered, and nobody worshipped her. So she was very unhappy. So we first cleaned that up. We didn't touch this place, we left it as it is, but we built a temple next to it, which is called now the Mariamman temple. And that is why it is called Maradevannahalli. That village is called Maradevi's village, Maramma Devi's village. But nobody knew all these stories, including the local people did not know. It is the Tambula Prashna which pulled out all these amazing historical facts of the place, which corroborated with whatever experience we had. This is the Mariamman temple, small one we built for the Devi to please her. And then the Shiva temple was built on the top of the hill, and that temple is now a vibrant hub of jatres, especially during Shivaratri. All the villagers come there, and with all the traditional fanfare of Dollu Kunita and things like that, they make a big festival there. And that is happening, see, this is the thing, and then that's how the Mantapam came up. The temple is on top, which is where the cave is. Even today the cave is there in the temple. And the other temple we built outside that cave because we didn't want to disturb the cave. We wanted a bigger temple, but we could not build it there. So it's not just reviving a school campus or starting an educational system. It's also understanding how deep is our Indian spiritual culture, and how scientifically somebody can find out facts of a place which was not known to anybody, including the village people. And they told us, somebody coming from Kasargod telling about what's happening in Mandya through a scriptural method, which of course I also experienced in my own way. But then when it gets, matches with something which is found out from somebody totally outside the circle, it was a great revelation that how Indian this science, this knowledge system was so advanced. Facts can be easily understood, recorded facts, but finding out something of a history which nobody knew from some set of questions in a certain mystical pattern, and then recollecting a shloka from a scripture which is written, which is a standard scripture written. But the shloka will come and tell you this is what was happening, and you have to interpret it right. It's not given to all. There are a set of very learned experts who do that. It's a family tradition which continues. So this is a beautiful story of Mandya. Of course, I deviated from that just to tell you that how rich is Indian thought and Indian culture. What we see, what meets the eye is not the world. Beyond that, there is so much which we do not understand. And that mystery is something we were very happy. And today we have monks here from Thailand, from Vietnam. They are the followers of Buddhism. But Buddhism is also something that was born in this very land. When Vietnam says we follow Buddhism, that Buddhism was born in this very land of Bharat at some point in time. And it's also a very mystical religion because the Buddha himself had revelations of his past lives. Most of the cultures don't believe there is another life. This is all it is, the YOLO generation, you only live once. But these mystical cultures have found out. And when the great Buddha had the visions of his past, which is a part of the Jataka tales which we all read, he realized that there are so many lives he had lived before, even as animal, bird and trees. So this is not new, and that is what made him think how ephemeral everything is. And that is how he became a jnani, and then he spread the word. He taught to many, many people from around the world, especially Southeast Asian countries are countries known for their Buddhist traditions. So I welcome them also to our ashram as a part of your journey. And I'm glad that it's a great meeting of like-minded, like-hearted people, and that is what it requires. A very productive, constructive dialogue is what the world needs today. When so much of divisive narratives are floating around, we need some constructive dialogue for bringing the world together, and that is the effort which is being put here. And all the seva is nothing but the reflection of great Indian spiritual thought, that we must, Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. To serve man is to serve God. That is how Indians have always thought of serving. So I look forward to working with the brothers and sisters of Vietnam, learning from them, and then helping each other grow in building a better world and making it a better place for the last and the least. Once again, I want to thank our Honorable Consul for coming here and sharing his words on this Vietnam Day, and of course to Sri Vijayendra ji for being here and being a part of this One World, One Family World Cultural Festival 2025. This is a part of the 100th year of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. I would invite you again as soon as our new hospital is ready for inauguration, and I hope we can again receive the Honorable Prime Minister to do the honors of dedicating it to the nation. Thanking everybody once again. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschit dukkham apnuyat.
We will now take a short break of 10 minutes, after which we will reconvene for the cultural presentation. This evening's cultural program represents the tradition of Vietnam, a country where history and heritage live in every song, every dance, and every tradition. In today's dance ballet, artists will perform to 5 themes, which include the ancient folk melodies in the north to the misty highlands where spring brings life and joy, from the magical lantern nights of Hoi to the spiritual rhythms of the central highlands, and finally to the graceful elegance of the conical hat and flowing ao dai. These dance forms are recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Today's performances are stories of people, nature, faith, and love. They remind us that culture is the heartbeat of a nation, and that beauty is found in both simplicity and spirit. Brothers and sisters, please put your hands together for these wonderful artists of the Tree White Dance Group who will be presenting the vibrant culture of Vietnam.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With a heartfelt gratitude, we gather tonight to honor Sadhguru Sai, who has united us in a spirit of love, harmony, and service. It is a privilege to join hands with One World, One Family World Cultural Festival, carrying a message of peace, compassion, and unity to the world. This evening, we invite you on a journey through Vietnam, from the lyrical northern delta to the romantic central region, from the majestic central highlands to the timeless image of the conical hats. Each performance tonight is more than just an artistic display. It is a cultural history told throughout music and dance, allowing us to experience a very nice soul of Vietnam. And now, let us begin the journey with the carol of Quan Họ folk singing, recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Here, the non-white how, the flat palm hat, is more than just an accessory. For centuries, it has accomplished festival and love song, twirling gracefully in rhythm of young men and women, sang in call and response. Veritas of hat is a poetic gesture, a greeting, an invitation, and a symbol of elegance and hospitality. Please enjoy the non-white how dance, a graceful opening act and warm welcome from the people from Kinh Bắc. From the quiet beauty of the northern delta, now we rise into the mountains of northern Vietnam, home of the Hmong people, one of Vietnam's 54 ethnic groups. The Hmong live in Hà Giang, Lào Cai, Yên Bái, Sơn La, Lai Châu, and Điện Biên. Their lives are closely tied to the mountain, to terraced rice fields that climb the slopes, and to the changing season nature. For the Hmong, spring is the most joyful time of the year. It is a season of reunion, renewal, and hope. When spring comes, the whole village gathers. The sound of the bamboo reed instrument echo across the valley. Children play, young men and women sing and dance. The family give thanks to the life and pray for the good harvest. The dance tonight, spring on the Hmong highlands, bringing us with the spirit to the stage. It is full of energy, joy, and color. It shows how music and movement unite people, how community gives strength, and how spring gives some new beginning. Please join us in the lively celebration of the Hmong people, a spring festival under the open mountain sky. from the mountains. We now journey south to a town famous for its ancient beauty, Hội An, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. On every full moon night, the people of Hội An turned off electric lights. The town became a sea of glowing lanterns. Their warm lights reflect on the Hoài River. Streets, houses, both are lit only by lanterns, creating an atmosphere that feels timeless and magical. In many Asian cultures, lanterns are more than just decoration. They are symbol of happiness, prosperity, reunion, and hope. Lighting a lantern is like sending out a wish, a prayer for health, fortune, and peace. Families light lanterns together to honor the past, celebrate the present, and look forward to the future. Our performance tonight, The Red Moonlight, is inspired by the magical night. Through dance, we recreate a science of Hội An on the full moon. Thousands of red lanterns glowing like the moon itself, spreading light that connect people's heart. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the enchanting performance, a dreamlight festival where light chases away darkness and joy unites us to all one family. From the Latin district of Hội An, now we travel deeper into the heart of Vietnam, to the Central Highlands, a land of rest basalt soil, lush forest, powerful waterfall, and above all, the sound of gong. The Central Highlands are home of many ethnic groups, the Ede, the Mnong, the Zarai, and the Bana, each with its own rich traditions. Together, we have created a cultural treasure that the world now recognizes, the Gong cultural space honored by UNESCO as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. In the Highlands, the gong is more than just a musical instrument. Its sound and belief to carry the message of spiritual world, connecting people with nature, ancestor, and divine. At every festival, the deep rhythm of the gong calls the community together to celebrate, to pray, and to dance. The dance after the Great Highlands captures the vibrant spirit. It shows daily life, farming, hunting, ritual, and expresses the villagers' wish for rain, prosperity, health, and unity. As you watch, let your heart beat with the rhythm of the gong and feel the strength, vitality, and spiritual beauty of Vietnam's Great Highlands. Our journey now comes to its grand finalize, with the most iconic symbol of Vietnam, the conical hat and the flowing áo dài. The conical hat or nón lá is the same simple object, yet it carries a deep meaning. It protects farmers in the field from sun and rain. It shades children walking to school. It follows people in their daily lives, a symbol of simplicity, practically, and timeless beauty. The áo dài, Vietnam traditional dress, is equally meaning. Its following line show grace, elegance, and resilience, worn by generations of Vietnamese women. It has become a symbol of both tradition and modern identity. Together, the conical hat and áo dài represent the spirit of Vietnam women, gentle yet strong, modest yet radiant. The dance tonight celebrates its spirit. It is a tribute to women who nurture the love, protect family, overcome hardship, and move forward with hope. It is also the celebration of Vietnam itself, a country proud of its past, confident of its present, and full of aspiration for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the fragrance, color, and color of Vietnam, the perfect final line for tonight's cultural journey. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are not only enjoying the 5 performances, but also the journey through the spirit of Vietnam, from the grace of the Northern Delta to the vitality of the Highlands, the magic of Hội An and the timeless beauty of the conical hat. Thank you for sharing this meaningful event with us. May the melodies and images inspire understanding, connection, and peace. Thanks once again, and good night.
We request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem of Vietnam, which will be followed by the national anthem of India.